Let us use a ScriptRunner for Jira on cloud to create a link. Yes, it is not a very complicated thing to do, but still, it is always good to know that it can be done. And I'll be using one REST endpoint. Now, we made a video on this topic, I think, few months back, where we learned how to use this endpoint called REST API 3 issueLink, and we basically use this body. Now, in the body of your request, and by the way, you have to use this post method. In the body, you have to use three things, mainly three things. Number one, the outward issue, which is, let us say, in this case, B25, BT5 or whatever. The inward issue, which is something that you can define here, and the type of the link. Now, if you look at this Jira instance, we have, let us say, this issue link type called blocks. So we have to specify this name of the issue link type in the request body, and outward description and inward description is something that will be updated after you make a request. Now, to demonstrate this, what I'll do, I'll use this example. Let us say you have to create a link from BT5 to BT2. Just example. Now, to create a link, you need to go to, of course, the option here called link. So basically, in your issue, let me show you. In Jira issue, you have option to create a link. So if you click on this link here, it will let you create a link. And when you create a link, you have to specify the outward or inward description. So let us say if this particular issue blocks something else. Now I want to basically say that BT5 blocks BT2. So I can type in here my BT2 issue, which is now displayed here. Now if I click on the link button, if you look at the issue, it says that BT5 issue is blocking BT2, and if you go to BT2, it will tell you that BT2 is blocked by BT5. So this is something that you need to always be careful of. Now in my request, I will be using this same body. I'll copy the body here. I'll copy the body from this particular Talent API tester to my console. So I'll go to my console and I will copy the body that I want to use to make this request. Now I'll just make sure it is looking good. And again, I want to say here that BT5 is going to block BT2. So this is my link that I just created. I'll delete the link and we'll do the same thing using this console, ScriptRunner console. And BT2 is blocked by BT5. Now I'm showing you the outward and inward description, because when you create a link in Jira, link is not one way, it is a two-way. So when Jira issue A is linked to B is also linked back to A, and that is why we have the concept of inward and outward description. Now when you look at this scenario, let us say this is a requirement, you want to do this, BT5 should block BT2, and if you look at your link issue type, so this will be your outward issue. So basically, if you go back to your requirement, so this would be your outward link, and if one is outward link, then the other one should be inward link, and that is what all you need to do. So if you look at the body, the outward issue is BT2 and the inward issue is BT5. Now we have to modify the body slightly. So use the square brackets, and I believe we also have to remove the quotes from the key value pairs, or basically the key here. I think this is it. So let us fix everything very quickly. It is similar but not exactly same, so that is why I'm doing this modification. And we are almost done. Okay, so this looks good. And one more thing that I need to do here, I want to basically use the endpoint, which is issueLink. So I'll make sure I copy the correct endpoint, which is issueLink. Now this looks good, but before I do this, I need to also, and by the way, when you're doing this using a script, you have to ensure that the link type is valid and the issues are there, issues exist. So you can always write a code above, or maybe some kind of a method where you can check, only perform this action when the issue exists, otherwise, or if things are valid, otherwise don't do it. Do some error handling. And the examples that I have been talking about, like how to fetch issue details. If you get something, like if you are trying to fetch an issue, like in one of the previous example we talked about, we learned how to fetch an issue. If you're unable to fetch the issue, or if the issue is not even there, then you can't create a link. So do some error handling in your code, always good to do that. And before I create this link, I will get rid of the link here, and you can simply delete the link. And now we don't have any link. Let us go back to the script console and click on the run button. Hopefully it will work, and of course we will verify. So I'll wait for it to finish. Okay, so I think the script finished, and if I go back to my issue and if I do a refresh, so now you can see here that now we have a new link called BT2. If I take a look at BT2, of course it will also have a link back to BT5, and that is how you create a link. We did this in one of our previous video, but we also learned how to do it using ScriptRunner for Jira. And in case you're watching this video for the very first time on my channel on ScriptRunner for Jira for cloud, I am basically trying to cover a lot of examples, a lot of simple things that you can do with the REST API, because when you're using ScriptRunner for Jira on cloud, you have to use the REST API. And I have plenty of videos on REST API, so do take a look at those videos. I will cover a lot of examples, and most of my examples are doing a very simple, small thing. But my objective, my idea here is to enable you, to help you in learning those small things, so that you can build something great, something amazing, and you can of course add your own business logic to these scripts. So I hope you enjoyed watching today's video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.